right on the dot. Right on the normal.
They always ask, do you recall what you were doing when John Kennedy was shot? You know, do you recall what you were doing or where you were when President McKinley was shot?
Oh, yeah, sure, I remember.
You are about to participate in a living history lesson. Meet Dr. Charles DeWitts of Eggertsville, a graduate of the UB Medical School in 1914, as he recalls life in Buffalo more than a century ago. Charming, witty, and exceptionally spry at the young age of 102, his first recollection is going to Public School 24 on Fillmore Avenue back in 1895.
The next thing I remember, when it was 400 years that Columbus discovered America in 1492. This was now in 1892. Mm-hmm. And we had the day off, and we all went to see the parade. And it started downtown and went out Genesee Street. And
the old theaters?
The Olympic, Shays, the Star. Catherine Cornell, and her father ran that one. Mm-hmm. And that's where she often played, you know. Then there were a couple of burlesque. And the first one I remember was the old Olympic on Washington near Broadway.
World attention was focused on Buffalo in 1901 during the Pan American Exposition, and 16-year-old Charles DeWitts was a live-in office boy at the home of a leading physician of the day, Dr. Charles Stockton of Franklin Street.
Yeah, that was the first time that there was a really display of electric lights, you know. And then it got cold in the fall, so they closed it. They were supposed to close in November, but they closed in October on account of the weather. And of course, it was in September then that McKinley came here, and that was a great event, you know, when he was shot. But about 3:30, 4 o'clock, the doorbell rang, and of course I answered it, and there was this Representative Alexander, our congressman, mm-hmm. And I said to him, no, the doctor doesn't see him, but he said, go in there and tell him I want to see him. It's very necessary. So I went back, and Stockton came out into the waiting room to greet him, and he said, well, McKinley was shot. And I still remember those two men sitting there and crying. So both of them then got out of the waiting room and walked down to Virginia, and the Elmwood car went over Virginia to Elmwood, and then out Elmwood to the exhibition grounds. In the meantime, they were trying to get Dr. Park. He was in Niagara Falls doing an operation, and railroad just put him on a engine and brought him right into the exhibition from Niagara Falls.
Dr. Park was Roswell Park, founder of the famed Cancer Institute in Buffalo and one-time teacher of Dr. DeWitts, who stood by as Dr. Matthew Mann of Allen Street operated on President McKinley in the Milbourne Mansion on Delaware Avenue. Wouldn't it have been more appropriate to bring the stricken president to a hospital?
You would think so today. That's where you'd go right away.
I imagine with today's medical knowledge, we'd have saved that president.
I think so. I think so.
What do you feel disturbs you most in today's medical practice?
I think today most doctors are depending entirely on these machines, you know. It's surprising you go to a doctor today, for instance, and he's going to have all these tests done. It's all done, I think, to protect the doctor, namely because these malpractice things are awful, you know, today.
You feel there should be more of a personal contact with the doctor right from the beginning?
Sure. They want to touch you, and they have all this on before they even want to take a look at you.
Mm-hmm. Dr. DeWitts checks his little black book to recall how much he paid when ordering groceries for Dr. Stockton.
A dozen bottles of beer for 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
A dozen of eggs for 35 cents. A pound of butter for 30 cents. 6 lamb chops for 35 cents.
You're not wearing glasses.
Well, I've got them there. I've got 4 pair back there, but they're in a drawer somewhere, and I don't even know now which are for reading and which are for vision.
You don't really need them to read that
No.
little print?
Although in those days, when an office visit cost 50 cents and house calls $1, well-known citizens from Buffalo's Silk Stocking District anteed up a bit more when treated by Dr. Stockton.
William C. Warren, he was the newspaper man, $205. Then we go to Charlie Kilhofer, who was a real estate man here, $110. I got $2.50
A week.
Yeah. The cook got $3. The girl that waited on table got $2.50. How much did that amount to? Not $20 a week, was it, that he paid out in salaries?
And he was taking in
200 or more a day.
Although Dr. DeWitz is not currently registered to administer to the sick, we learned that an occasional friend stops by for a free checkup.
Someone came in here and I'm not prescribing and so forth, you know, and so we just talked and took her blood pressure and we had a nice talk here and
I bet you're in better shape than some of your patients. How is your health?
good.
You seem very trim. Any special diet or vitamins?
No, I enjoy whatever I have, you know, not overdo and so forth.
How about smoking? Do you smoke in any way?
I smoked up to, in August, I had this awful cold and cough, and I quit.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't touched it since, and I don't even miss it.
What did you smoke? Pipe?
Just a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never smoked cigarettes.
How about a little libation, a little nip once in a while? Is that okay?
Sure, that's all right.
I imagine so many people ask you what do you attribute to your longevity.
Oh, go in moderation, you know, in everything. And don't get upset, don't get jealous, don't get hateful and so forth, and spiteful. The world is going on, you know.
And the remarkable doctor, 102 years young, would like to leave us on a philosophical note.
Suns may rise and suns may set again, but when this little light goes out, there'll be a long night for sleeping.